Hello and welcome everyone. We will continue with our lesson that we are continuing, that is population composition. This is of class 12. So today we will discuss the next topic, that is literacy rate or literacy. So literacy means the number of population in a particular country, how much they know to read or write. So we will discuss it elaborately. But why do we need to study literacy rate? Why do we need to know the literacy rate of a particular country? What does it help? Or how does it help us in studying the population? So there are some literacy rate. If we study the literacy rate of a particular country, we can come to know about the socio-economic development of that country. Socio-economic, their society, how their society is, and how their economy is. So both will tell, both we can understand by studying the literacy rate, that if the society is good, then their literacy rate will be high, and if the literacy rate is good, then their economic condition will also be good. So next, standard of living, that is if the standard of living of the people in that particular country, that is their income is more, then they live in a good houses, they have good vehicles and all their amenities are good, then only they will prefer their children to send to school. Even they send to school also, then they will not prefer them to go to higher educations, if because they are not dependent on, or they this type of people who has no standard of living is not high, they don't prefer their children to send to higher education or get good literacy rate. Next is status of female. So in a country where there is or you may take a small region also, in a region where the status of women is not good, so the treatment for women in the society is not good, then in those regions female are not allowed to go to school. So in those regions also the female literacy rate will come down. As a result, the total literacy rate will come down. Next is educational facilities. Now if people want to send their children to school also, but educational facility is not there in the near premises or in the near neighborhood, there is no school, they should travel a very long distance to go even for the primary school. So for all this reason, people may not send their child for going to school, or if there is 100 families in a village, only 10 families will send their child for school, rest will not prefer sending their child for school. So next is government policies. Now government also should take certain policies to make or attract population to come to schools, because obviously there is a age when people or children, they don't want to come to school, and the poor families also, they don't like to send their children to school because it is an extra expense for their family. So government should take certain policies so that this population, they are attracted towards school, or they are made compelled to send their child to school. Next is economic development. So this economic development is both result also of literacy rate and cause also of literacy rate. That is, if there is good literacy rate, then the economic development will be high. If there is good economic development, then the literacy rate will be high. Both, it comes before also, it comes after also. So economic development is always related with literacy rate. So by studying the literacy rate, we can come to know about all these things in a particular region, but only just studying the literacy of that particular region. Now if we come to India, so in India a person is termed to be literate when he is above 7 years of age. First thing is, he should be above 7 years of age. Secondly, he should know to read, he should know to write, and he should know to do arithmetic. These three things he should know to do. He should know. First is, he should be above 7 years of age. Second, he should know to read, he should know to write, and he should know to do arithmetic. So let us go to the next topic, that is occupational structure. So the occupational structure of a particular region, if we see the working population of any region, if the working population of any region, if we see, then we will understand that the working population of a particular region, it is the age group of 15 to 59. The population in the age group of 15 to 59, they are included in the working population. So these people, they work in different sectors. Some work in the agriculture, some work in transport system, some in manufacturing industries or research work. So accordingly, where they work, their work are divided into different category. So based on that, it is the primary activities, the first work category. That is, here it is included agriculture, then forestry, fishing and mining. Agriculture, you know what is agriculture, what is forestry, fishing, mining. These all are included in primary activities because they are directly related with the environment. Next is secondary activity. Secondary activities are those which are related with manufacturing. Manufacturing means industries, production, or anything related with industries and production. It is called as manufacturing sector. Next is tertiary. Tertiary is transport and communication. This tertiary create a relationship between the primary and secondary sector, it in transportation and all, by doing transportation and all. So it comes in the tertiary sector. Next is quaternary sector. Quaternary sector is the job or the work that is related with research work or development work, that in all this field, how this field can be developed, doing research on that. For example, in agricultural sector, what are the things that can be newly applied to do agriculture better, that is like HYB seed, fertilizer, all these are the result of this research work only. Next, in this sector also, in manufacturing sector also, how the manufacturing process can be done easily, how their product quality can be made better. So all these are the work of this research sector only. So this work or develop job that is related with research and development work, it is known as quaternary sector. Now if we study the work population of, or the work division, occupational structure of any country, it will obviously indicate people working in these four sectors. Now we, from this only we can understand that either that country is well developed or underdeveloped or developing. Because a country which is well developed, who has more number of manufacturing units, or you can say industries, more number of industries, only that particular country can use in employ, give more employment to their population in this sector. Otherwise, if there is no industries only, no manufacturing only, then how they will employ more population in this sector? So because they have more industries, they can employ more population in manufacturing or the secondary or tertiary sector. Now to have more industries, they should have good economic condition, that is that country should be rich, then only they can have more industries, then only they can employ more population in the manufacturing sector. So uh, it indicates that if a country, if in a country more population are engaged in secondary, tertiary or quaternary sector, then that country is well developed country. And if more population are engaged in the primary sector and less population are engaged in the other three sectors, then that particular country is either developing or underdeveloped. Because agricultural sector is the basic sector. From the very past only, people have been are related with this sector. So people or country which is underdeveloped, in those countries only more population are engaged in agricultural sector. And most importantly, now in the present work, this research sector is most important in the present world. Because any new things that comes up in the society or in the economy, that comes from this sector only. So in the developed countries nowadays, they are giving more emphasis on the research work, because this only can bring more economy, good economy, by inventing many things and selling into the other countries and bringing more economy. And most importantly, in the other sector, tertiary and this secondary sector, more number of female are also now engaged in developed or developing countries. Also these sectors have come up, and more number of females are engaged in tertiary and quaternary sector, which is a good sign that more population are engaged in working, or more population are doing job in the industries. So if we study this, we can come to know about the development of the country. Now, if we see it from the perspective of India, India is still an agrarian country. We have so many times we have discussed about this topic before, that even 70 or 60% of population are still today engaged in agricultural sector only. And it is not that because many population are engaged in agricultural sector in India, so its production is very high, or it is producing so huge quantity that everywhere we are exporting our agricultural products. No, it is not like that also. Because more population are engaged in agricultural sector, it is only because in other sectors there is no job. So if in other sector there is no job, people has no other thing to do, and they go and are engaged in agricultural sector only. But per capita income, that is, if 10 people are engaged in a particular work, how much they produce, and if one people is engaged in a particular work, how much he alone produce. So the if 10 people are engaged also, the production is same, that one person or two person how much they will produce, 10 person are producing that much only. So it means that our per capita income or per capita production is very low. So though India is an agrarian country, many people in India are still today engaged in agricultural sector, still then our agriculture is not well developed. So though we are engaged in agricultural sector, but we are not able to develop our agricultural sector. And as we have discussed that in a country where more people are engaged in agricultural sector, obviously India is also in the same category, that is India is under developing country, just a developing country.